Yo, this is Dorky Diggity Dave, and we are back for another Champion Deep Dives, and this time we're talking about Terrax, and you knew he was coming, and you know who else is not coming, but is already here, is my main man, John, in the house. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. I'm excited to talk about some characters again. We got, Terrax today. So Terrax has got some really interesting stuff, especially in his base kit. You got to be really careful against him. I've found when I'm fighting him, his medium one and his light one, not a problem, but once you hit any of his other basic hits, excluding the heavy, he actually is using the axe and he has a little bit of extra reach. Sometimes when I'm going to dex his moves, he'll just clip me in the middle of it. You gotta be careful timing your dexes right. You can't just spam right out of there. He might just reach you with that axe.
Are you saying that reachability of this champion is outreaching the timing of dex?
It's a player controlled thing. So if you don't time it right, if you're just going a little bit too hard, he'll catch you. The Terrax is hard on the defense. This guy, he's pretty tanky. He's got some crit resist. He's got some block pen, but he's all about defense. He's gonna keep the control of the fight the whole time. He wants to stay in your face and he wants to just shut you down.
So the rock field has a lot to do with that.
Oh yeah, the rock field is Terrax's main defensive mechanic. So anytime that's up, it's very similar to Mephisto's Aura of Incinerate or Omega Red's Death Field. If you're within range of him, you almost immediately start taking damage. So you gotta be careful and you gotta play around that. And the longer that rock field is going, the more damage it'll do.
Nice. Well, I guess it's too bad nobody has any paper or scissors as a counter.
Scissors wouldn't work too well,
no.
But paper, it'd snuff him out.
All right, fine.
Actually, he'll beat out paper. He's bleed immune. Can't give him paper cuts.
What? I like that. I do like that. So, okay, so he is bleed immune. What other immune is he?
Yeah, so he is the master of rock and all things earth. Not our earth, but earth the element. So he's also shock immune. Any champion tagged metal can't affect his power bar at all. So Doom, Doc Ock, any of those guys,
they can't steal his power.
They can't steal his power. They can't touch him.
You know, I didn't even get to try that. I didn't think about that, but metal champs cannot affect his power. That's amazing. You know, matter of fact, he can't even affect his own power.
Yeah, it's he can barely, all he can do is gain it. He can almost never get rid of it on his own accord, except for, so when he throws a special attack, his special is actually cost 0 power, and his mechanic is almost similar to Imperious Rex with Namor, where as soon as you throw a special attack, you see that power start draining. The difference there is Namor can throw specials where Terrax can't. So, but the way that rock field works is anytime that he's draining that power after a special attack, that's how long the rock field will stick around.
So basically, if you build up to just under SP3, launch the SP2, that's going to start the rock field?
That's 100% the way you want to play Terrax.
Nice. So you're not taking power, and it just literally starts draining from that 3 part.
And yeah, you can, if you want, get more hits in with you, and you still gain power. You don't, you only lose it over continuous time, but you still gain power. So the more power you gain during that form, the longer you keep the rock field, the more damage you do.
Nice.
And the SP2 is totally the way to go about that. The SP2 gives you a power gain as well. You're getting continuous power while you're draining it, almost net evens it at the start. And then while you're hitting the opponent, you actually will gain power.
Now, wait. So when I asked you if he was a defensive or offensive or hybrid, you said definitely defense, but this sounds like offensive talk.
It does sound like a lot of offense, but all of this can be done as a defender, and it's going to be even more potent as a defender. The way it works is if you're in his face, he's doing damage to you, and the only way you can deal with it is you got to back off. So you got to parry and back off, and you got to just wait for that power to go down. If you're hitting into him, he gains a ton of power, and he's just going to have that rock field up forever. You got to play around it.
Does he need to be duped?
His dupe is pretty good. I'd say for defense, pretty mandatory. You almost need it. It gives him Power Cosmic at the start, which will give him more power gain, and it also lets him start with power and rock field.
So if you don't have any Power Cosmic, it's going to give you 2 stacks, just like that.
Immediately.
How do you get more?
So as you're fighting as Terrax, from hitting the opponent hitting you, just playing the game, you'll build up attack charges, and once you hit a certain amount of attack charges, then you'll gain a Power Cosmic. You can gain up to 2 a fight to a max of 6 total over a quest.
And that's in a persistent charge?
It's a persistent charge, yes.
Nice, very, very nice. So I'm pretty excited about it because not only do the animations look good, but the mechanic that you have in his damage loop is even better. Now, there is something special about him, which is his armor breaks. But there's something also different about the armor breaks. Tell me about that.
Yeah, for sure. So we went a little bit different with the armor breaks with Terrax. Regularly, an armor break is a great way to increase your damage. With Terrax, we wanted to use it more for utility. So anytime you're in Rock Field, sorry, you have a chance to take an armor break every time you take damage. And those armor breaks are not going to be super high potency, but it's more of a counter for tech champions. So Ghost, Warlock, Guillotine, all these characters with like pretty potent armor ups, you can shred them off.
Nice.
It actually works really well against Iron Man and Infinity War as well.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
So this is as long as you're removing very much needed armor, you're just kind of taking it down, which works really well because that is the class advantage anyway, from a cosmic down to a tech. I'm liking the way you guys are thinking on this one.
It's almost planned.
Yeah. So is there a mechanic to kind of keep this going, this armor break?
Yeah, so he can actually refresh on his light attacks with his axe. He can refresh them, and then they will get to a point where they're pretty potent. You just gotta make sure you're actually keeping them up and you're playing aggressive.
What would you say his standout attribute is?
Yeah.
Like out of everything.
So there's actually a couple things he's got if you go to his attribute page that are actually gonna be pretty good for him. So his tags, he's got villain and he's also got control. So he'll work for 2 defense tactics. Right now, Siphon is awesome. It gives you that block pen. He's also got block pen in his base kit. Doom can't crit that guy. He's got crit resist as well. Not as much as Doom, but enough that occasionally you're not gonna be landing those. So those base stats are actually gonna make him a lot tankier and a lot more threatening on defense. Even out of the gate, this guy has got some really good defensive utility to help him take down the opponent.
All right, so it looks like he's got a pretty big list of attributes and abilities and things like that. Where would you say his best uses are? Like, what are the best matchups?
His attack loop is good, it's a lot of fun, but he doesn't do a ton of damage and it's hard to really maximize his damage if you're not playing too aggressive. I think defense is where he's going to shine the most, and I really like seeing him on specifically the nodes with power focus. So power focus 2 is awesome for him. The whole thing you want to do with Terrax is give him as much power as you can. Keep that rock field up as long as you can. When you put him on something like power focus, as soon as he activates that rock field, which if he's sigged, he'll do right away, anytime you hit into him, he's gonna gain so much power that you have to just play passive, and this guy's gonna push you in the corner.
And then you're stuck.
You're stuck. And if he's got that rock field up while you're in the corner, you have to hit him, and it's rough.
Wow. So what kind of damage is the rock field giving?
Yeah, so the rock field is all energy damage. So there's actually some pretty good counters. You could even bring in Captain Marvel, and you'll get all your binary stacks right away off of that energy damage. You can bring in Bishop. There's a bunch of characters with base energy resistance in their kit as well.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's counterable. It's tough to deal with, but you can do it.
All right. Well, what synergies would you say is your favorite synergies? Of course, we have the internal, external, and future synergies.
Yeah, so he's got a couple pretty good ones in his kit. My favorite is by far the Phoenix one. Every time you well-time block with Terrax, you gain 3% of a bar of power. He's already increasing his own personal power gain, so you're just getting more and more. And then outside of that, he's got, again, amazing synergy for Cosmic is Cap IW and any of the Cosmics in his synergy, increasing the buff duration, and then adding the Reed Richards Cosmic synergy on top of that, tossing the SP2 at Terrax, make that power gain last as long as you possibly can.
Nice.
You're gonna have your rock field up for days.
So we're increasing that buff duration, and with Reed Richards, every time you land an attack, you're doing just like a little micro pause on it. So you're just keeping that thing running forever.
That thing's gonna be going all day.
All right, guys, we're talking about Masteries. You know that they're pretty amazing with the right champ, with the right Mastery set put together.
Yeah.
What is your favorite setup for Terrax?
Yeah, so honestly, his kit's pretty basic enough that you could use it with almost anything. Suicides, he's all right. He can shrug off the bleed immediately. He's bleed immune. Poison's still gonna hurt him. Maybe if you bring a Synergy to get rid of that, get some bonus healing. Shoutouts to Nick Fury. But other than that, I think maxing out Parry and Stupefy are all you really need with this guy. Make that stun duration as long as you can. Get the perfect block, make the parry even longer as well. All you want to do is stay in front of the opponent the whole time and just rack up
just
that
keep
rock
on
shield.
going. Would you suggest going with a perfect block Synergy on top of that?
Yeah, I actually think perfect block Synergy team could work really well as well. Again, maxing out that parry stun duration and just stay in front of him as long as you can.
Nice. Well, now you know if you get one, you know exactly what to do. Once again, thanks so much for joining me on the Champion Deep Dives today. This is Dorky Diggity Dave, and this is my main man John right here. And he's always bringing the knowledge. I love the knowledge that he brings each and every time we do this. So if you do like the video, and I hope that you did, go ahead and click subscribe, click like, leave a comment, share it with your friends, share it with your mama. All that stuff helps me out. And remember, stay dorky, and I'll catch y'all on the flip.
Opotamus.